And that last one, that hurts. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on 1st down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
Here's Ham, the fullback. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They'll run inside with the fullback Ham. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Check. Watch 54. All day, dog. Bring up 48.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down at the 31. Cousins gives way to Cook. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Now Cook. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Cousins to throw it. And Diggs has it. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 6 on the dump-off, but it'll bring up a 4th down. Running for it. Here's Cook. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, had held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters, and somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Trying the power game with Ham. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Throwing, Cousins to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal. Inside give to Ham, the fullback. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. C.J. Ham taking it in as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP, Coach of the Year. John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill. No surprise there.
Not to mentioned the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, the credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because that represents the totality of a player in the NFL, not just what they do on the field, but off the field as well. And that goes to Calais Campbell, the defensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a great award. Congratulations, Calais.
And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Cook. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Cousins now from the 50. Going deep for Diggs. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Zebra. 57. Hey, Charlie. 3 buzz. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Here we go, G. Get on.
Here's Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football.
And he'll go down in the end zone. Down. To say this crowd here in Seattle, this 12th man had something to do with that.
As well as the architect of this stadium. Combined with this crowd noise, makes it very difficult to run offense. And here, 2 points result for the defense.
It is deafening in here. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Hey, orbit.
On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down. They'll run for it. Cook. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Wilson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
You remember me? Let's go, baby. Look for signals. spot forward. Mike spot forward.
Focus, defense, focus.
Here's Wilson. Going to throw again. That's caught by Hollister. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turned that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
6-man. Check cross, check cross, check cross. 80 weapon.
Cousins on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They'll try and run for it, going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Let's get to some Hall of Fame talk while we have a second, because last week we mentioned the 15 guys that we knew were going into the Hall. 5 added: Isaac Bruce, Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, Steve Atwater, and Troy Polamalu. You think about it, CD. For Polamalu, it was his first year of eligibility. People knew he would go in. Atwater was his 16th year. He had to wait a long time.
He certainly did, and I often wonder about the psychology of it all, because when you're young in your career, meaning young retired, right, these things mean something to you, but I don't know if they hit with the same impact as it will for Steve Atwater.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. They were looking for Johnson that time.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Back to the ground, this time Lynch. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
Play action. Now Wilson steps away. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Now it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Cousins going for it all. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Cousins again. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that that turned out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
They'll run again with Lynch. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They go play action with Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. Wide open receiver, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make the play on the football.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Now Wilson. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Wilson to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. They run again on 1st down, Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Cook. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, let's get down.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's Britton Colquitt now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And look at this. It's a fake. But he will not make the 1st down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs.
14, got it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He hits his running back, Procise. And they move this all the way down to the 9. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And not all W's are created equal, CD. And this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look.